Hello, hello, fertility empowerment show. That's been a long time we didn't talk about fertility, but today we have Michelle Gordon. She's a registered nurse, and we're gonna talk about the power of surrender. Be with us till the end. We're gonna have some great discussion. Welcome to my show, Michelle. I'm so inspired to hear your story. And I really wish other people can watch this and they can get some inspiration because of your challenge through the pregnancy. I really wish to know about you, what you're doing, and exactly what was your story.
Yes. Thank you for having me, Pantea. It's great to have this conversation. I know that it's a really important conversation for women and couples out there who are struggling with infertility. So yeah, I have three beautiful children now, and who are grown up. However, I did have two struggles with infertility myself. One of them spanning over an 8-year period, which was obviously an emotional time. And yeah, I'd love to share a bit about what that looked like.
Beautiful. So, can you tell me exactly? Because you told me you had unexplained infertility in two of them. And that was your diagnosis. And what was your feeling about that? And what did you do?
Yeah, so as a newly married couple, my husband and I were healthy. Obviously, we went into planning our pregnancy and having a family, growing our family, and nothing happened. So our first point of call, I'm based in Australia, so our first point of call obviously was my GP, which I went and had lots of testing done. My husband also had some tests done, and then we were then referred on to a fertility specialist. And we went down the path of what was going on for us both. And I guess it came down to, a few months of more testing and appointments and doctors and specialists. And the answer was, it's unexplained. You are both healthy. There was nothing wrong in terms of my husband's reproduction system, nothing wrong with mine. Like everything was essentially normal. So there was no reason as to what was going on. So that was quite frustrating. I remember just thinking, we're meant to have a family. Like, it's meant to happen for us. What is happening here? Everything is okay, and yet we're not able to have this dream come true. So that was, yeah, a really frustrating and a time of, but hang on a minute, it was just like my brain just couldn't understand it at all. Yeah.
So, can I ask you what age were you that point?
28.
Wow, still very young. So, you
Yeah.
see, even unexplained infertility is not really related to age. Because if you ask some doctors, say, oh, just the age, but it's not. So, what was your did you understand what was the reason why you couldn't get pregnant? Like the hidden
No,
layer? No?
I had no idea. I think I had a deep sort of knowing that it was always going to happen, but for some reason we were presented with this struggle. Like,
Mhm.
it was just like, but why? Why is this happening? And we were both working really hard. I'm a registered nurse, so I was working full time in nursing. We'd obviously bought a house, recently married. So there was lots of things happening in our lives. So there was a part of me, I guess now there's a part of me that sort of thinks, was I ready? Like, were we really ready for that? Or were we so in the busyness of our lives that this was just another thing that we were doing? So that, like, on reflection now, is perhaps, something that
Because
came up.
one of the reason couples cannot get pregnant is working too hard.
Yes.
Yes, because they waste their energy so much in go 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 go, and then they don't take time to relax and enjoy life. And then what happened when you got pregnant? What happened? What did you do differently?
Yeah, so my first pregnancy was, we went down the IVF pathway, and it was, very clinical. It wasn't a very, like, it wasn't a great experience. I didn't respond well to all of the different medications and everything that was going on. It was stressful. So it was, my mindset, I was struggling with the emotional stress of it all. And of course, that would go on to my husband. However, we were successful in our first attempt, which was fantastic. And we had our baby boy. But I very quickly went back into working really hard. And that had been a common theme throughout my life. So, yeah.
And your second one, you said you still had 8 years apart with the second one.
So, no, the second one was 2 years apart, my second child.
Uh,
Um, Interesting there. We put it out there to the universe and actually just started talking about, okay, maybe we should think about this. Our firstborn was 12, 13 months old, and we thought maybe we should start thinking about growing our family now that we know we've got infertility struggles. We know that we've had IVF for our first. We know that this was a 2-year process in having our first child. Perhaps we should start thinking about IVF and planning. And my husband's like, yep, let's do that. And within a couple of months, I'd naturally fallen pregnant. And we hadn't even actually started anything. It was purely the conversation. And yeah, that was a huge surprise for us.
for the third one, you had 8 years
Yes.
difference. And how old were you when you had the third one?
I was 37.
Still very young. Yeah. So that one again, you surrender everything, and then it happened, right? You didn't do anything specific.
Well, so that for our third child, again, we went back into, okay, where are we looking at now? Where are we going to be going down the, infertility struggle, or are we going to have this natural, beautiful baby come and join our family? And that was 8 years. So 8 years of backwards and forwards. At that point, we'd moved from Melbourne, Australia, to Queensland, so we'd moved states. There was a lot going on. I also suffered from a very big part of burnout. So I was back nursing full time, and I burnt out and I hit rock bottom. So I was suffering anxiety attacks. I was relying on alcohol really heavily, and I wasn't obviously mentally and physically or emotionally in a good space. And for a part of that time, we considered going back to IVF. but I was really reluctant to because of my experience. And although we were successful and had a beautiful baby, my life was stressful. And I knew that that was going to be another big stress on my life. Plus, we'd moved as well. So we had tried acupuncture and holistic medicine for quite a few of those 8 years. And then ultimately we moved states, moved home, and we moved by the beach here in Queensland. And my husband sort of said to me, "What are we doing? We have all of this baby stuff. We've got the cot, we've got the clothes, we've got everything. What are we doing?" And he was kind of sort of putting it to me 8 years later, why are we still carrying all of this stuff, for a baby? Are we having this? Are we doing this, or what? What do you want to do? And he sort of really made me sit and think about it. And I said to him, I'm really happy now. Like, I'm just so happy. And I don't think that, we need to, I don't, I'm happy as we are. Like, we've had a beautiful move. We live by the beach. And in that moment, I surrendered. Like, I really just surrendered the whole outcome, the whole. And he was gobsmacked. Like, he looked at me and said, "Really? Like, we've been trying for so long. Like, are you really ready to give up?" And I just remember saying, "I'm happy. I'm okay now. I'm good." And 2 weeks later, I was pregnant. So it was just one of those moments
Power
where,
of surrender. Yeah.
yeah.
So tell me about your uh, method, or how do you help other women achieve this goal? Let's say they are trying for years and it's nothing going to happen. What is your suggestion? What do you do?
Yeah, so I specifically help women who are burnt out and frustrated and on the hamster wheel. And that was where I was in my life for a long time. I didn't know anything else but to work hard, to push, to just do the hamster wheel life and battle and struggle and work really hard. And how I now help people is to help them become free from burnout and overwhelm, and really help them work on their mindset and living in alignment. That's essentially what it is living in alignment with who they are, their core values, and what they are here to do in life. What are their dreams? What are their passions? What are their goals? And so many things have come from that. So, I've had one lady that I worked with earlier on. We did this process. She'd been trying for her first child for 12 months. And, after she'd sort of worked through a lot of this herself, she was able to fall pregnant naturally. So many others have gone on to in a relationship with their husband that may have been falling apart, find new jobs, start their business, and just go into their passion that way. So I think like this mindset work helps in all different areas as well as fertility.
So your suggestion is lower down the stress, to try to have less workload, as you did, right? You've been nurse those days and you had a lot of work, and then you moved to new place, you had less stress, more relaxed time with your family. So it's not only about the body itself. Everything may look normal, but if your mind is not ready, it's not going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when all of those things like your mind, body, soul are in alignment and function, not over function, which is what I was doing for so long, that from that space of alignment is where you can easily fall pregnant. Like it just sort of happens, as well as, better health, better relationships, happiness. All of these things come when you're in alignment, which is really beautiful.
So the stage of alignment is not is about the body, mindset, and yeah, aligning yourself with the new life that is
Yeah.
gonna be raised in your body. Okay, tell me about your program right now. You have this beautiful website, and you have Facebook, Healthy Happy Nurse. Is
Yes.
that a community, or do you do
So I've got
any?
a Facebook page, The Healthy Happy Nurse. I also have a community on Facebook as well, which is Health and Happiness by Michelle Gordon. And that's a free group where I share all of the different things that I live by and work with clients. But more the course that I've now created is the Health and Happiness Formula. And that was based on my own journey from burnout, frustration, misalignment, on the hamster wheel, really battling and struggling, to now where I am today. And that was 5 years ago that I really went through that journey. And I also started when we moved, but then really refining that and fast tracking that, I've been able to sort of put that into a 12-week course. So yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you have any recommendation for women who are in this trial and error cycle?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's slowing down, like not busying. We want to busy ourselves and I guess keep busy and not be constantly thinking about it, but it's also just slowing down and letting go of the need for it to happen, is to live your life fulfilled, staying in alignment with your goals and dreams, nourishing your body and mind. Like, all of these things are important. When we want to dive in and escape life through work or exercise, overeating, over drinking, like, this is all the things that are going to be blocking your success. So is definitely sort of really trying to slow things down and working on your mindset as well. That's really important. Oops, I've got no volume.
Sorry, I said thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope to have you more and more in future. Please subscribe to Pantea Kalhor Transition channel and order my book Naturally Conceived through Amazon. Thank you for watching.